Losing in the finals was a frustrating experience. It sucks knowing that you had more to give and you just felt like you didn't perform to your best. It was everything that I worked for. The stage was set. It was everything that I wanted. I was there to put on a show and prove to myself that I belonged, but I didn't.
If I were to ask anybody in the paddleball community, how would they describe CJ Espinal?
For me, CJ is explosive, very young, very powerful. And for me, his fundamentals are there. If you look at him, he pivots like he's a baseball player. And I heard that he is a baseball player. So he pivots, he generates his power. His IQ is very high.
You know, he just needs a little bit more experience in the tournaments because, you know, he hasn't played as many tournaments. But once he starts playing and focuses, nobody's stopping.
When I made the decision to take paddleball seriously, right away I went into training and tried to map out the best way that I could be at my best to be the best player I could be at this present moment. But the more I thought about it, the more overwhelmed I felt about the task. I really felt like I didn't deserve to be in those moments, in those finals, because I'm just so new at the sport. Yes, I do have a lot of athletic ability, but I do lack the experience and the wisdom of the game. I feel like it's a race against time for this journey because I got married in March and my wife works in the medical field. She's applying for a residency, so at any moment we could kind of move anywhere in the United States. So it feels like I just have this limited window to play the best paddleball I can play and prove to myself that I could be at that top level in the sport of paddleball. The whole tournament for me was really just a frustrating experience.
So I'm calling to go over the results of your most recent MRI. So the good news, Carlos, is that there is no evidence of a rotator cuff tear.
Okay, that's good. But what about the pain in my shoulder though?
Based on imaging and your clinical history, the symptoms are most consistent with shoulder muscle strain due to overuse. The high velocity throwing associated with the sports you practice, it places significant stress on the shoulder, leading to compensatory patterns, which is likely the cause of the pain you're experiencing right now. So my best next step is conservative management for you with physical therapy 3 times per week for 8 to 12 weeks at least.
Okay, so I have to stop exercising. There's no physical movement I can do at this time?
Right now, I want you to avoid activities that place stress on the shoulder, movements like throwing, hitting, heavy lifting.
What sucks about this whole thing is like I was playing my best paddleball. I felt the best like I've ever felt playing paddleball. Super confident, like put the ball where I want to, wasn't overhitting, I had control with my power, and like this just happened, bro. It's frustrating. My plan was to play in the Opens and in the B tournament with my brother, but my brother couldn't make it. So I was down a partner. I had to find a partner 2 weeks before the tournament. Then for the mixed tournament, my partner, she ended up getting hurt, injuring herself, and it was just a real frustrating experience because we literally worked all fall and winter, every Wednesday, Sundays, playing together to be at our best so that we could, make noise in the tournament and hopefully, be in the finals. And none of that went to plan. It all just fell apart. In the first game, I felt like it could have gone either way. I felt like if I normally played the game that I play and apply pressure and assert myself, I felt like we could have won that game. But my confidence took a hit. There were shots that I missed that I normally make. I hit a lot of balls under. I hit some balls out. And normally I would tell myself, next play, you got this. But when I missed those shots, it was like a war starting in my head. CJ, you gotta hit those shots. You're playing like shit. Come on, wake up. After the first game, I made an overcorrection. I told myself I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna volley more. I'm gonna use less of my power. And that messed me up because that's not who I am as a player. I started playing more defensive. But when I made a decision to change the way I play, the game was practically over. They took off from there, and I think the final was like 15-4 or 15-5, whatever it was. Frustrating. Naturally, I'm a very shy and timid person. I come from a sports world where they're very critical of you. You're very judged on your performance. You're always told what you're not. You're always told what you're lacking, where you can do better. And I always kind of doubted my abilities because I've always learned to be so critical of myself. And that's kind of engraved in me since I was younger. But the one thing that I do appreciate from that experience is learning to tap into that killer instinct. And I do have it, but I just don't like going into that because I just don't like the person that I become, the way I think. It's hard for me to separate CJ the competitor, the player, from CJ the person. But I know at the next level, that's something that I need to tap into as I play better competition. I had to learn at a very young age that my identity wasn't tied to what people thought about me, or my shortcomings, or my accomplishments. You know, it was very draining as a 15, 16, 17-year-old to live life seeking the validation, the approval of others, when I myself wasn't really happy with the process. But for the first time in my life, I'm actually playing a sport that I want to play, that I want to be great at, that I want to be the best that I can be in. And it's such a freeing feeling knowing that my motivations, you know, are correct. And in my heart, I feel like I'm doing the right thing for myself. And I know very soon, you know, I'm just going to reap the fruit of my labor. That's why I'm grinding so hard in this time, because I know my time is coming in this sport. Paddleball has been in my family for the last 40 years. I remember ever since I was a kid, I was always around the game. But I never thought I would love the game the way I do now. My father started playing handball back in Brooklyn in the parks, and eventually meeting the guys, they transitioned over to paddleball. And then my dad eventually passed the game down to me. Now all my brothers play, my cousins play. It's not just a game to me. It's a way we kind of bond as a family. This game keeps us together. I told myself every time that I step on that court, I'm going to be 100% myself. I'm no longer going to doubt my abilities. You know, everybody wants to be Tyson, everybody wants to be Jordan, everybody wants to be Kobe. And to be at that highest level, you need consistency, you need discipline, you need to win at the highest level over and over again. And for myself, unfortunately, I don't really have that privilege. You know, I could move and, you know, leave and stop playing paddleball next year. Now I know I have to set the tone from the first point. I'm going to be myself and play at my best and allow them to make the adjustments. And they will, but that's why I have to learn how to be great.
Forget about the fucking CD, man. Let's listen to you. Señores, voy a cantar. No se puede improvisar. Lo que traigo es bien sabroso. Que mira como yo gozo. Que mira que soy allá. Por eso voy a cantar. Para que tú lo bailes. Que tú lo goces.